Now, again, welcome everyone for the second group of graduation East time slot. Today we have several of our members who have worked with us in last 4 months, including a few mentors who have helped our mentees in their journey. Before we get started, please make sure that you have your name written down for the roll call. And I want to remind you that we have a code of conduct that applies also to this call. Um, However, the main aim of this call is to celebrate your journey so far with us. For anything that you would like to report about something, it could be journey today or call today or anything that has happened in past, please feel free to reach out to me or you or Berenice, who's not at the call today. Okay, if we are all ready, I would like to give the mic to Lillian.
Hello, everybody. So I think I'll just go direct to the presentation, right? Okay.
Feel free to
So
share your screen. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, welcome to the presentation on Open Connect Kenya. So I'm the presenter and my mentor is Caleb. Just a little bit about the project. My background is I'm a water policy analyst, environmentalist, and I'm a co-founder of a community-based organization in Kenya called Kijiji Ukulima Eco. So open science is just a personal interest of mine. It's not my background whatsoever. Um, about the project is on research communication, trying to reduce the disconnect between contributors, open contributors and open users in Kenya, and targeting open champions as well, who will be part of the mentorship section of the project. And the region of the project is in Kenya for now. We might go to other East African countries and then larger African region. So why the project? These are the problems that led to the initiation of the project. So there's a socioeconomic divide and political divide. So why I saw this as a problem is that in most of social movements that we have all over the world, we find that these are the problems that make it not progress as required. So when talking about socioeconomic and political divides, how is it affecting social movements? And then open enthusiasts in Kenya, they're working in isolation. When it talking about individuals, institutions, yes, they're doing certain things as open access champions or open data champions, but they don't have one voice when addressing policy aspects or open aspects in the country. So that's the major problem that led to, two problems that led to this project. So what are the solutions? These are the solutions. We want to create a circle of people with different interests, with different ideas, with different passions, to come together to work towards one voice within the country. So with that, we want to address the problem of disconnect that I talked about initially in the open community in Kenya. And with the circle of people holding each other and uniting the voices, we'll be able to shape the open policies in the country. Yes, Kenya has open to information policies that we have like two of them that have been adopted by the country, but not most people know about it. So when people come together, they'll go back to the policies and see how it's working for them or how it's not working for them. So that's why we wanted like one platform where people can just engage with each other and come up with solutions or some better ideas. So this is how the platform looks like. It has two sections. There's the side that's more on informing the open community, connecting them, and then fostering collaboration. And then there's a section of it that wants to build the capacity of these people involved. people involved are the contributors and the users. So the platform has three sections. We have GitHub webpage where we'll be sharing our open resources. There are open resources in there. And then we have chat rooms. We have two chat rooms. We have Slack, and then there's the Gitter, where anyone who wants um, any information or just want to engage people within Open Connect Kenya can come in and just share. So with that, we have the now, after having all these resources and people together, we want to build them capacity of people involved in this. So how do we do it? We need mentorship program, because we know with policies or with any other development, each and every, we can't say that it's the same all year round, like this year to next 5 years. There might be changes and people need to know how to adapt to these changes and have to understand what these changes are. So how do you make it possible? Through mentorship program. So this is my journey towards Open Connect Kenya. So we have three people that made this possible. Me as the project lead, and I had a mentor, and then the friends, and then the OLS participants, and then we had on the other hand OLS team and trainings that they gave us. So me in between, the image is not visible, but you can see there's help, because most of the time when we went to the trainings, you get new information. I'm like, what is that? So what I had to do is go back to my mentor to be able to understand, to make sense of what I've been trained on, and to reach out to my friends within open community as well, just to share the resources that they have and the advice that they might have when it comes to um, Open Connect Kenya, just bridging that disconnect. How do we bridge that disconnect? So with the training of OLS, it helped a lot, because most of the time, my design, I think initially, I didn't even know what the platform should look like. So with the trainings, it helped. And with the GitHub, how to have a GitHub web page app, and made it easier. So I knew I'll have the web page up, and then we have a chat room to make it easier. Um, that's what I can say. Mostly it's friends and the OLS team that made it work for me and made it even easier. So this is how the webpage looks like. And we have, as I talked about it initially, we have three sections to it. There's the webpage that you are seeing, like Open Connect Kenya webpage, where people can contribute. We have issues there. If you want to contribute to them, you can access it and then give your input. And then you have a section for documentation of open resources in Kenya. And it was the most challenging part, because most of the time there are different institutions talking about different issues. But when you get to those pages, you don't find individuals whom you can approach easily. So the first thing we wanted to do to have like open champions database in the future of people just in Kenya, because it's not easy. Most of the time when doing championing for open science, it's easier for me to reach out to people outside Africa more than people within the continent. So with this webpage, it's going to be easier for open contributors and open users, open in the open connect community. So for easier engaging with each other. Um, and then we have the resources now with open access, open data, open education resources within the web page. So with that, people as well, either users who have become now active and understand what all these components of open are, and contributors can add links to the resources that Kenya has or that the region has, that or any other resource that's relevant to Open Connect Kenya that they might see this is important and people can use it to understand more on open. And now we have, that's how it looks like. With the presentation, can see different sections of the web page, and where there are contributor guidelines within the web page where you can go and visit and see how to be part of this. And then these two chat rooms that I talked about initially. So far, I'm yet to share it on the social media platforms. I just wanted to do presentation first before making everything live and share it within my networks. So we have Slack community. With the Slack, we have different threads. So if you visit, if you join Slack, Open Connect Kenya Slack community, there are different threads. So you just have to introduce yourself, and then you might have different interest. For you might be interested more into open access. So there's a thread for open access. So if you have questions and discussions on open access, that's where you're placed to have fun. And then there's the open data, then open education resources, and then there's the one for GitHub webpage. So if you want to contribute anything, there's the thread for that. So that's where all information on GitHub webpage and Open Connect Kenya webpage is all about, if you want any other information. And then there's the Gita community, where it's just this exact same thing, just sharing, discussing, um, new people within Open and people who've been here before, like 10 years experience with open communications. Um, so these are the two chat rooms that will be supporting GitHub webpage when it comes to Open Connect Kenya. And then now, engagement, where we are headed next. So we're just requesting everyone who is interested to join us. And who are we targeting? If you're an open contributor, if you're an open user, any if anyone with information about funding of open activities or projects, and then the leaders, people who've been training and been active in the community. All these voices, we need them within this. Why do we need them? Contributors know how can I say it, the direction of open community movements headed. So with them, because they've been here before, they can direct open users who are interested, who are newbies, they're coming in and they want to understand what's open sense about and all that. So it's very important for them, everyone, to be involved, every voice, whether you know more about it or you know less about it or you know nothing about it. So everyone is needed and to hold hands. Where the project is lacking, we have, like I talked about it before during my introduction, open science is just my personal interest. So it's not like I went to school, somehow I had like units on it or on open science or anything. So we need more knowledge on how to do information management, because when you're having database, how do you manage this data? So people with that knowledge, it will be very important. Skills on documentation, on GitHub, on project management, um, proposal writing. So these are the people who will be very, very resourceful, and we are looking towards having them within our community or people interested in pushing this agenda forward. And resources, we talked about open resources that we're looking for, which it's not easy getting them in one section. So open access, open data, open education resources, that's more on Kenya, it will be very, very important. So what next for us? We want active discussions in our chat rooms. So we'll be finding out when people are joining the communities, the Slack community and the GitHub community.
Lillian,
First thing is to,
can you
uh-huh.
wrap up? We have overgone the time limit.
Okay, this is the last part. So it's just active discussions and then adding the resources that needed for GitHub webpage, and then there's the launching of mentorship program, which is within the next 1 year. And that's it. Thank you for all these different sets of people who made this possible, the mentor, OLS team, and the friends.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. It's so we're not gonna have a lot of time for question, but do write it down on the notes. Um, and we're gonna also come back and visit everyone's idea just because I have done bad time with the chairing right now. It's very hard to stop because you all are presenting things that we really care about, and it's so nice to hear you talk passionately about it. I'm gonna limit the time to 5 plus 1, and I'm gonna call out our next speaker. And our next speaker is Michael and Festus. Do we have Festus today? Yeah, both of you. Take the floor.
Thank you for the opportunity. So today I'll be taking you through our OLS project and the steps we have taken so far. I'll be sharing. Mhm. All right. I hope you guys can see my screen. So this is the Bioinformatics Hub of Kenya project. So I'll be taking you through the steps which we went through to come to conceiving this project. Actually, it started in a seminar where we are having a cup of tea, and then we are deciding on how we can maintain the conversations going with the people around here. So after the events, most of the time you find that people disperse. So that's when we are assembling our team, me, Mike, and then there's David, Maggie, and Pauline. That's when we met and sat down and brainstormed ideas of how we can build a bioinformatics community within the region. So our first thought was to build actually the logo, which you can see on the first slide. This was our logo where we are starting the Bioinformatics Hub of Kenya. So we had previous many designs, but we settled on this as a team. And then moving forward now, that's when we joined the OLS mentorship program. Actually, the OLS helped us open our eyes on what we want to build as a community. So we use the open canvas to sit together the problem, the solution, and how we could get the key metrics and the people who want to be part of our community. So using this open canvas, we were able to set our goals on what we want to build as the community. And these are some of the few problems which we wanted to address as the community. So our next thing was to set up our vision and mission of the hub, how we want it to run and how we want it to, what we want to achieve in the long run. And the main vision was to just be a coordinated hub which enhances capacity development and training and collaboration within the field of the bioinformatics in the region. So moving forward, we had to get a structure of the hub to get it running. So we had to figure out how to put the different measures to ensure the hub is running. So first of all, us as the steering committee are there. We had to find a few people in the advisory committee. These are people who are well expertised in the field, who can guide us and show us the way on how we can build the hub. And then we had to find the members who will be fit for the hub to conduct the various training activities and outreach activities for the hub. So moving forward, actually, after getting this organizational structure, we had to go online. First of all, actually created a website just to put our project online, which was based on the WordPress, but currently we are trying to move it to GitHub. I'll share the website later. So we created our website, which was put our project online. We put out application to join the community, and then we went ahead to launch our hub. So these are photos from our launch of the hub. These are on the far left are some of the discussions going on. On the far right, top right, those are the members who showed up for the launch. And then on the left, the middle photo is part of the steering committee and advisory committee team, and people showed up for the launch of the event, which was successful. And after the event, we also evaluated to see how people took the response of the event. So these are just some of the responses from the people, how they assessing how the launch was. So when on one is poor and then on three is excellent, the launch of the event. And also the expectations of the people are quite met during the launch of the Bioinformatics Hub of Kenya. So moving forward, actually, we had planned for monthly meetup activities where we could meet up, discuss open science ideas, skills in the bioinformatics field. But currently, the corona pandemic has stopped everything, which is quite saddening to us. But we are hoping after the pandemic, maybe we'll be able to be doing our monthly meetups, but also we plan to be moving maybe online, try to do online events, of which we are still planning, but we are quite low on the resources which we require to carry out online meetups. But hopefully, sooner or later, we'll be able to do so. So how to reach us? You can find us on Twitter by Informatics Hub of Kenya, GitHub. So our old website is still under, these are old website, and then a new website is still under development right here, which I'll be sharing with you shortly. And also I want to acknowledge now these people who have seen this project to be successful. First of all, the steering committee who have been doing the whole work, planning and everything. David in absentia, Pauline in absentia, Mike was present, and Margaret is in absentia. Our advisory committee, Dr. Amel, Dr. Caleb, and Dr. Madan, they have really helped us financially and guidance through this part of the launching. Our open life science mentors, we are really grateful for everything, for the mentorship, especially from Dr. Toby, Malvika, Berenice, and Yehudi. You have been quite a lot of help to us. And then finally, I'd like to thank the BHK members and the OpenSeed members where we would have open discussions on the hub. And also these institutions right here who have supported us in one way or the other, ENBIT, ISIPE, Open Science KE, and Open Life Science. You are really helpful. So maybe I'll share with you the few links to our website. So these are all websites which we first prepared just to get our project online, to invite people to know who we are, what we are doing when we're receiving applications. And now this is our current website, which is based on GitHub from the few skills we have learned through the OLS mentorship program, and it is going online, just a few tricks here and there. And there you can see some of the happy members, the steering committee after the launch of the event. It was really successful and they are happy. Yeah. And also you can follow us on Twitter. Right. Mhm. So I cannot get it, but it is somewhere this tab. Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter right there. Thank you.
That's amazing and very much in time. Thank you. We do have a few minutes for a question. We have a question on the notes which says, what kind of resources would you need if you want to host online events?
So first of all, I figured out we need maybe a Zoom account, a premium Zoom account, maybe a good camera to record the different training activities, to reach out to people. So those are things. And also maybe we'll also need some few collaborators to prepare just training materials for the members. But for now, it's solidly we need maybe a Zoom account and a good camera just to record the proceedings of the training activities so that we can share it online.
Great. So there is one response that OBF is Open Bioinformatics Foundation that Yo and I are board member of. They offer fellowship, and at the moment we are offering fellowship, which can be applied until September, where you can ask for these kind of resources. We'll share the link with you. If anybody else have any resource that they want to donate, for example, it doesn't have to be the entire account, maybe a slot, maybe they can coordinate with you, I guess.
Yeah.
And beside that, you got a lot of great responses on logos and resources. And of course, I absolutely love the organizational structure that you've built. That's just amazing.
Malvika,
Yes, Michael.
just a quick question. Since now we've already interacted with Open Life Science, is it possible maybe if we could get
we hear you very difficult. Yeah.
can you hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I was asking, now that we have interacted with Open Life Science, and as Festus had mentioned about getting a premium Zoom, is it possible maybe if we try to, moving forward, I try to request a room probably from OLS, is it going to be possible?
Do drop us an email. We can definitely arrange something for you.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much once again. We're going to move to the next speaker, and our next speaker is Samuel.
Hey, everyone. So I'm just going to share this, and can you confirm that you see the PowerPoint?
Looks good. Yes.
Perfect. So, hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and talk about our awesome journey during the Open Life Science program. Um, well, first I must say that I was really excited when I heard about the Open Life Science program because I had I was thinking about what I'm going to present to you for a long time now, and then the Open Life Science made it happen. So AWESOME stands for Open Science Université de Montréal, which started in 2018. Danny, the co-founder, and I realized we were both at the University of Montreal while we were collaborating on the Open Science MOOC. And then in 2019, we work on the initiative. So when I say work, I'm going to say, well, we did find a name. So awesome. We received a little bit on funding, but then my PhD life took over everything. So I had to put a hold on the initiative. But then in 2020, Open Life Science gave us the energy to just like make it happen, and most importantly, the tools. So we're currently laying the foundations and gathering key people for uh, our steering committee. So why did we start Open Science U Montreal? Well, first we noticed there was a lack of visibility and opportunities to learn about open science at our university. Also, we noticed that there was no peer network on open science, and also there's a lack of resources on open science in French as well. So how did OLS help us? Well, first they provided us with many reusable resources. They also offered support, and I think the OLS was a great example of a open leadership program and what we can try to make our awesome initiative to be. And then most importantly, I would say it helped us prioritize where to focus because there's so many things to do, to think about. And then with the OLS program, I could like focus steps by step and make it happen. So many drafts. I did write a lot about the vision, the mission, code of conduct, everything. But I think the one that stood out was the open canvas because it really helped us to like get a big picture of what we're trying to achieve. And also we did open the project management itself to outside of the community. And what was great about this is the people who commented on our stuff are now part of the community and part of the steering committee as well. So um, I did learn a lot about HTML and CSS and open source tools as well, mainly Hugo, which is a static site generator. And for our platform, communication platform, which you can access at chat.openscience.ca, we did choose Matrix and Riot just because it's a open and decentralized communication system and really secured. So I'm just going to show you around the website for now. Um, if I go here. So when you get on the website, you can see all the initiative we're putting up. So the communication platform, which is similar to Slack, but as I mentioned, is open and more secured. We were supposed to organize some workshops during spring, but then COVID happened. So we're postponing every in-person events. We're also building a directory of resources and making French resources. And we're also promoting local initiatives which people are making open either toolbox or other stuff. And we're trying to make some channels to promote those. And we're also coming up with a reproducibility branch at our local university. So we've just made a little website. We're currently writing a lot of blog posts. They're not on the website now. If you go to on openscience.ca, you won't see them just because we haven't translated everything yet. So here are all the events we were supposed to do. Unfortunately, they're going to be done later on. I would like to thank all our community members that have joined our committee. So Beatrice and Danny and Samuel and Valerie, which are still really important to the success of our the start of our community. So I'm just gonna go back to the presentation to wrap up. So what's next? Well, first we need a logo. I'm working with a graphic designer, and there's a member of our community who likes to design some stuff. So we're trying to do to bring like to level up our visual identity, let's say. And then we're gonna have the first journal club soon. So for the French people, it's the Reproducibilité Journal Club, and for the English one, what is the Reproducibility? And then we're also having the Open Science Canada network in mind, which is going to be we're trying to make the network of all the open initiative within Canada so they can connect, and hopefully they're all going to be able to chat on our communication platform. So I'm just going to skip this in the interest of time. I would like to thank all the organizers, the Open Seeds cohort, all the collaborators, the CSCCE, which is a really great resources for community managers, and most importantly, my mentor, Andrew, who was always available to offer feedback and especially constructive feedback. And I think that's it. Yep.
Thank you so much. That was amazing, very much in time. However, we don't have time for question. We do have really amazing notes in our collaborative document. So please go back and enjoy some of these.
Perfect.
Our next speaker is Cassandra.
Yeah.
Good.
Great. Thank you very much. So thank you to, in case there's anyone on the call that we've not met before, my name is Cassandra Gould van Praag. I'm a postdoc at the University of Oxford, and my primary research is in brain imaging, fMRI, mainly in psychiatric disorders. So that's kind of what I have been saying for the last few years, that's what I'm doing. And then in the last month, I've transitioned to a role which is primarily concerned with open science community engagement. So here I am as a normal postdoctoral researcher. That's my daughter. Shush, please, Ren. Thank you. Postdoctoral researcher in brain imaging, and at that point I was approached to help engage more people in doing open science research. Now this happened because I fell upon a journey of open science where I first was doing things that you might call bad, questionable research practices. I didn't really understand the value of open research, but one thing I was always happy to do was share my code, but sharing data always felt like a big ask. And then when I found open science, I found it was something that was just really closely aligned with my own values and interests. So I very quickly fell into a place.
Money. This was the money what we're going to take.
Yes, yeah, that's the money. Thank you, darling.
But it wasn't the other one.
I found that I was able to promote open science values really well because they are so closely aligned with my own ideas about information sharing and honesty and things like this. So I started not only doing open research, but promoting it. And then I was approached to, for our department, run the Open Neuroimaging Community Project. And this is where I joined the OLS program. I'd been given this opportunity to run community building in our team, but didn't really know how I was going to do it or what I was going to do. So with the help of the OLS, we started building a GitHub repository, which is now a beautiful web page. And I'm really grateful for the support that we had in building my first GitHub thing that looks like a web page. So here is our base community page. It has all of the important stuff, code of conduct and contributing guidelines, and of course a license. But I've also tacked in here all of my notes, all of the cool notes that I've kept during the Open Life Science program. And one thing that I'd like to share was an important learning for me. My mentor, Naomi, we quite quickly went rather off track in terms of following the homework. I always joined the calls, but I didn't always do the homework, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry for that. And but one thing Naomi has helped me do a lot is reflect on my experiences and understand myself and the process a bit better. So at this time in week 12, Naomi and I were sort of thinking about the key learning moments that I've had over this journey. And the most important things, I think, for me has been that I've been given the vocabulary to talk about the work that I do, and also to appreciate and understand it, and also the vocabulary to call out practices which are not inclusive.
You're talking.
My talking is interrupting her TV. I'm sorry about that. Another. Can you get the remote control, please? Another thing that is become really core to my experience in here is it's really doubled down my own value system in this area. So I knew that I was an open scientist, but I didn't know that I was also an open leader, or rather that's something that I wanted to be. So a colleague that I was working with, Stefan, said a thing that really resonated with me, is that the decisions that are made behind closed doors are the source of all things terrible in the world. So really for me, the journey from being an open scientist to an open leader was a really natural transition. And I'm really grateful to now to call tend to be going forwards. And this has meant that I'm now ready to community of open scientists. I'm going to do that, and I have started doing that as an open leader at the same time. So my main output from this project is that I'm ready to do the job that I've been hired to do, and I'm really proud and excited to be doing it. So 10 seconds to go. Just like to quickly thank the Open project, which has been at me, as Malvika said it would be. My mentor, Naomi, she's been an amazing support and friend. And same as Sam, the CSCCE, the Centre for Scientific Collaboration and Community Engagement, has been a wonderful resource, and I'm definitely staying connected with those and contributing lots. And I think I will stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I mean, like, but child has been happily watching TV for hours, but now she decides to interrupt. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you.
Don't be sorry at all. That's reality of life.
It is.
Matush, just I want to confirm you would be presenting in the second slot tonight, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So that gives us actually some time to ask questions to any of our speakers. We'll start with Cassandra because she just finished. Is there any feedback or question you're open for, Cassandra, from everyone? So would you like people to ask you some questions?
Not really a question, but one thing I just wanted to share quickly. Malvika is aware that a couple of people, so as part of another project I'm working on, the Open Science Special Interest Group for my main conference, I've been given an opportunity to talk about inclusivity in terms of open science. And what I've decided to do is talk about global issues of inclusivity. Now, we're all talking about doing online and virtual meetings, and there's a lot to be considered when we try and do an online meeting and make it globally inclusive. So I just wanted to say massive thank you to OLS and the work that you've put in to ensure that this thing is globally inclusive, and it's an amazing diversity of speakers and mentors and people on the team. So thank you so much for the effort that you've put into this, and I'm so grateful to be able to have been a part of it.
Thank you so much. So I think we're done with the graduation, officially speaking, but we'll still have another 10 minutes for the call. So let's give a round of applause for all our graduates for today.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sudarshan is still there. It was an early celebration. Sorry, Sudarshan. Would you? So we still have time. I'm so sorry. Please go ahead and.
Yeah, can you see my slide?
Yes.
So my project is Media Lab Nepal. So I wanted to create the open license community in Media Lab Nepal. So which is trying to connect the mentors to the mentees. I'm already a coordinator of Media Lab Nepal. It is a small organization which is trying to create an open science community, and we are working as a bio community lab in Nepal. During my journey, I saw the gap between the mentors and mentees. So I thought about connecting, creating a bridge between the mentors and mentees. Because I thought the open science is the future, and I define open science as a way to set us free from the geographical boundaries. So I am trying to I'm trying to use the open science to connect mentors and mentees in the bioinformatics discipline. So the goals of this project was to learn about the open life sciences in detail, different terms, process, and to do the networking and for the mentorship, and to initiate this collaborative project was my goal, and also to learn about the sustainability and feasibility of this open science project. So I achieved a lot, and these are simple achievements I achieved there. My icebreaker question was selected there, and my team was selected. My team was awarded this paper trophy, and this was one thing. But what I learned is I learned open science more, learned to build open community, initiated the project, and I learned to use the different tools like GitHub, HackMD, learned to make website, and all the things necessary for the collaborative project I understood. I also learned about the road mapping, which was very much important, and how to empower for the inclusivity and ally skills and giving feedback methods. These were all very much important. And also I completed the carpentry instructor training program after coming here. I learned about the carpentry instructor training program, so that was really helpful. And main goals achieved in this project our first round of mentees were identified. A project is opened for collaboration through GitHub. 3 sessions organized through Zoom and Jitsi. And Jitsi was a free platform, so it was easier. And engagement of the participants themselves for organizing session. So mountain of engagement, that course was also really helpful for me. And Facebook group was created. Instead of the Slack and other thing, Facebook group was created. And in Nepal, Facebook is a common platform, and most of the people were using the Facebook, so we preferred Facebook to other platforms. And this was the Facebook group. This is the Facebook group and GitHub and the web page we have created. And this is what we learned, that we were dealing with the people with the different heads and people with the different people from the different disciplines, but how to include them in our project is a very much difficult task. And whether we are biasing them unconsciously is also a very much important thing. So through this course, I learned a lot of things. Nowadays, this is how our mountain of engagement looks like. I was only one person before, but after this, the Mohan is handling Facebook Messenger. Janice is enjoying inviting people because he is good at networking, and he's also learning to make a website, and another person volunteering the session, and another person publicizing our project. And I want to thank you. I want to thank my super mentors. I don't call them mentors. Aaron was my first mentor, and Malvika was added up to. So I want to thank my super mentors for this project and helping me in this journey. And I already have a startup. We are trying to connect the musicians who are skilled but who are unemployed, and they are in the remote areas, village areas. They are uneducated. So I never thought that I could use the openness in the project, but there was a difficulty in registering all the members who are uneducated, who do not use a mobile phone. But just yesterday, I organized this meeting, and I thought about an idea how we can connect with them through the openness, how we can integrate the openness in our project so that we can register more people under our platform, under our startup. So this course just didn't teach me about the science, that we can also, this also taught me to that we can also use in a startup or company. This is not just limited to the academia. So this is what I learned. And thank you everybody, OLS mentors, a whole OLS community, and thank you everybody. And I'm now Open Science Hero of Nepal. Thank you.
That was wonderful. And I am so embarrassed that he's my mentee and I did not let him speak. I'm so sorry. It was wonderful. Thank you so, so much. If I can like marvel the fact that you got musicians from Nepal together, that just blows my mind, really. Do we have questions for Sudarshan? So you can go back and read the collaborative notes, Sudarshan. There are a lot of love for your project, and we can't wait to see how it flourishes. Okay, is there anything we want to do before we close?
I think we can wrap up, and we have graduated another amazing round.
Yes, let's give a round of applause. And we can stop live on YouTube and stop recording. And then we still have 4 minutes that we can have offline chat about.
Okay, we're stopping now.